Asana is a powerful task management tool that can help you be more productive, but understanding how to manage your task list can take a little bit of getting used to. So that's what we're going to cover in today's video. Hi and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Andy, a property investor based in Maidenhead. I help business owners become more productive through technology. In today's video, I'm going to explain all about the My Tasks section in Asana, including what My Tasks is used for, how to navigate My Tasks, how to set My Tasks up so it works for you, some best practice, and also some simple automation. So let's get into it. In my previous videos, I've explained about teams within Asana, projects, tasks, and more. And if you want to find out more about these features, do check out my Asana Basics playlist. I'll put the link above and also in the description below. But the My Tasks section is a really important feature in Asana since it aggregates all of your tasks from multiple teams and projects into one place. So you can prioritize, schedule, and delegate work to others, all from one place. So this is my test Asana account. If you want to know how to get to My Task, it's really easy. It's just here on the left-hand side where we've got My Tasks, and we can go and see all of the various sections, which I'll go over in a short while. But also, if we're again somewhere else in Asana, another quick way to get to My Tasks is actually to use the keyboard shortcut, which is Tab Z. So if on my keyboard I just press Tab and then Z, it will then quickly hop to My Tasks. And if you'd like to know more tips and tricks, then do check out my Asana Basics video on tips and tricks, link above and in the description as well. So let's firstly just take a quick tour around My Tasks, just to go and understand the various bits. And first off, you'll notice that we've got a recently assigned section here in list view, where we've got some tasks. We've then got tasks doing today, upcoming, and also those with no due date. And the recently assigned section are for tasks where your name has been added to a task recently. So let me give you a quick example. So if I go into the product project plan project here on the left-hand side in my favorite section, we can see that we've got a task which is goals for this sprint and there's currently no one assigned. So if I go and just add my name to this, so I've got my Andy test account here. If I just go and add myself to that, if I pop into My Tasks, you'll see that now goals for this sprint has also appeared within the recently assigned section. And actually we can see that the project is the product project plan there as well. And if you're working with a team, if other people within your organization are adding you to tasks, they will also appear in this top section here, which is recently assigned. And this is almost like a task inbox. So it's tasks that people, either yourself or others, have added you to, but you've not processed them yet. We've also here got the do today section. So maybe there's some tasks and you want to focus on them today. So they'll appear here. We've got upcoming. So these are tasks that I personally say are within the sort of next week or so. And then those with no due date either. But you can make this look however you want it to. So for example, one additional section that I have is I have a later section. So if you just click add section and then you can call it whatever you want. So I'm going to call this later and then I can drag it up here. So I've got tasks that are due today, tasks coming are those within the next 7 days, and then tasks that would be in my later section are those that are later than 1 week, but they do have a due date. And then I've finally got the no due date section. But I do also know people that create other sections. So for example, you could have a morning section. So rather than just having due today, you could have tasks that you want to go and get completed in the morning, or maybe you could have a high priority section instead. And I could go and use that too. So it's entirely up to you. You can create a section, rename them so that it works for you. And like a lot of the projects within Asana, you can also have different views. So the standard view for My Tasks is list. And in here you can do some customization. So for example, on the right hand side here we've got customize, And if we look at all of the tasks I've got listed into due today, we can see that we've got the due date, we've got tags which are empty, and then on the right hand side we've got the various projects as well for each of these tasks. So if I go into customize, I may not be concerned about the tags or the projects. So just by clicking these toggles, it will remove those columns and I'm just left with the due date here on the right hand side. So depending on what information you want to see and what's relevant, you can get rid of things or bring more information in here just using the customize menu. Something else that's really useful is sorting tasks within this. So you can see just to the left of the customize, at the top right hand side we've got sort, and you may just want to, across all of my tasks, just view them by due date. So if I click sort by due date, it actually ignores the sections. Those are just stored down the bottom, and anything that's got a due date is all lumped together and then sorted by due date here. So you can see I've actually got quite a few that are overdue, these ones that are in red, and then some tasks that are also coming up in the future. So you can sort with due date, alphabetical, so literally it will just put it from A to Z, and then we've also got, perhaps if you wanted to look at them per project. But if we go to sort by none, you can actually include sorting within sections. So if I just tick this here and select alphabetical, it's actually sorting within each of the sections them alphabetically. So within due today, it's going from C obviously to T, because I've got that sort within sections toggle switched on. So it's a really useful way to keep things in their containers, in their sections, but also to sort them within each of those containers too. So that's sorting. Next up we've got board view, and board view is very similar to how you use boards within other projects. And if you do want to find out more about boards and how to use them, then you can also check out my Asana basic video on this topic. The link is above and also in the description below. So earlier we created these morning and high priority sections. So for example, imagine that we have got create marketing campaign here on the right hand side, which has recently been assigned to myself, but I've not decided what to do with it. Well, I could decide that actually that's a really high priority. So I could move it into that column. Goals for this sprint that we just did, I could say I want to do that this morning. So you can quite easily triage tasks. Maybe I've got add details to this task, or I'm not as worried about that, so I'll do that upcoming. So you can just easily drag your tasks quickly within sections to put them into the relevant part of the board. So that's a really useful view. And again, you can sort. So I could sort by due date and it will shuffle them around, or perhaps I just want to sort alphabetically. Or sometimes you may want to prioritize yourself. So if you click none, you could then say, okay, so due today, I'm going to prioritize changing this picture, and then I want to go and do this task. And so you can just drag and drop them into an order that is relevant for yourself if you have it sorted none, and you can do it in your own specific order. So that's board view. And then lastly, we've got the calendar view. So if I just click onto that one, now I've not actually got any tasks that are due today, but you can view your calendar either in week view or in month view. So we can see that in the start of May, I've got some tasks. And if I go back in time, there are a few that are outstanding from earlier in the month. But what's really useful here is if you actually go into the week view, here on the right hand side, we've got an unscheduled button, and I can see that I've got a few tasks here that are within various sections, but they are unscheduled, so they've not got dates. So if you want to plan out perhaps your week, so I'm here, week beginning the 25th of April, I could sort of decide, right, well, I'm going to do my goals for this sprint on Monday, and then I'm going to create the marketing campaign on Tuesday. So these come out of the unscheduled section on the right hand side, and they're actually given dates. And we can see now that the due date is tomorrow for the goals, and then it's Tuesday for the marketing campaign. So calendar can be really useful for going and moving tasks around, assigning tasks without due dates, or ones that are unscheduled. And again, you've got a couple of views, so you could see all tasks, completed tasks, or incomplete ones. And something that's also something to bear in mind is that Asana does actually remember the last view that you used within My Tasks. So we're currently here in Calendar. So if I jump out into a project, for example, the content schedule, if I go back to My Tasks on the left-hand side, we're still in Calendar view. Or if I'm in Board view, if I jump into my content tracker and then I go back to My Tasks, again, you can see that we're back in Board view. So it does remember what you use. So just a few comments on best practice and using My Tasks. So the first thing that I'd recommend is that you regularly check in with your recently assigned tasks. So especially if you're working with a team, people may be giving things to you on a regular basis, and you need to be constantly thinking, when do I want to get them done? So for example, this task here, it's a test task, but let's say task 1 needs to be done by the 3rd of May, but actually I've got a little bit of time, so I'm actually going to get that done, say this morning. What you can do is just click on the up and down arrow, select which section, and we're going to say that's going to go to the morning, and then it'll move it into that section. Or you can very easily just drag and drop. Yeah, I would definitely don't let your recently assigned tasks section become overwhelmed with lots of things. Just check in a few times a day and then just decide when you want to get tasks done. Something else that you can do both in board view and in list view is within a section just prioritize things how you want. So maybe the morning work, firstly I'm going to work on the goals, then I'm going to work on the details, and then I'm going to work on task 1. So you can just reorder things within a section based on your priority. So that's a neat little trick as well. And just put the most important tasks at the top. Something else is to make sure that you don't let your overdue tasks, or don't let tasks become overdue. So if I just sort by due date in here, just within this test account, we can see that I've got a lot of tasks from March which are overdue. So what I would recommend is that at the end of each day, just look at the tasks that you know you're not going to have time to complete, because we all run out of time, and then reprioritize. So maybe we've got here, change the front picture, and I'm not going to be able to do it. So I'm going to say, okay, well, I'm a bit busy Monday, Tuesday, but I'm going to choose perhaps Wednesday next week. So just reprioritize that. So I'm going to make that, where are we? So 24th, reprioritize that for the 27th. It's no longer due to be done today, it's upcoming. And you can just quickly reprioritize and get these tasks out of overdue and decide when you're going to get them done. And perhaps just make that a regular habit at the end of every day by changing the due date and the section. Something else, finally, that I just want to cover is a bit of automation. So if I sort of go back to the regular setup here, so we've got our recently assigned, and then we've got our due today, upcoming, and later. And you'll notice that next to the due today section, it's got this little lightning bolt, and that actually means there's a rule assigned to that section. And Asana used to do this automatically, but then they removed it and have given you more power. But a lot of the automation comes as part of a paid account. However, the original automation functionality just to move tasks is still there, but you have to add it in manually. So let me show you how to do that. So if you go to Customize on the right hand side, here we've got rules. I've got one rule currently set up, and that basically says when the due date for a task, so when the due date is approaching and the task is due today, it moves it to the due today section. So if a task is due for Wednesday next week, when the date becomes Wednesday, it will automatically move that task into the due today section. So what I want to do is set up another rule. So if anything is in the later section and it becomes a week out from the due date, it will move it into my upcoming section. So let me show you how to do that. So again, go to Customize, we've got Rules, and then Add Rule. And as you can see, the only rule that we can use on the free plan is this due date approaching one. You can do other rules, but that's part of the business paid for subscription with Asana. So if I just click on this one, we want to say that the due date is approaching and it's going to be 1 week before. So if a due date is 1 week before, we then want to move that task into this upcoming section. So it's simple as that. 1 week before a task is due, it moves into the upcoming section. And then we can actually change the title. So due date is approaching, move task 2, and then let's just call this the upcoming. section. So we've renamed it and then create the rule. It lets you know, and then we can see we've now got a little lightning bolt both next to the upcoming section and the due today. So you can add a little bit of automation for free, and if you want something that's more advanced, then it will be on one of the paid for plans. Just one final little tip. If you'll see here that this is my task is private to me. However, some of you may have an assistant or somebody who helps with you managing your work. So you can actually share my tasks with somebody else. And if you want to do that, we've just got the share button here on the right hand side. So if I just click on that, you just need to add the name of the person. So maybe it's one of my other test accounts. So maybe this one. So I can just add the other person, invite them to my tasks, and then they will be able to move things around and manage my tasks on my behalf if that's something that is useful to you. So this week's Asana Basics video has been all about how to manage your to-do list using my tasks. So do let me know if you've got any questions in the comments below, and I'd be happy to help. I've got more videos like this coming up every week as part of my Asana Basics series. So again, the playlist link is above and also in the description below. So please do make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. But that's been all for today. I hope that's found that useful, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.